Hello, everyone. How you guys doing? I know it's been a long day, right? All right. Well, you guys know my name is Rory Douglas, and I'm actually a financial educator and high-performance life coach and international best-selling author. So today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about Key InsurTech trends. And I'm going to talk about 5 trends that I believe is pretty much the future. And it's here right now. So I'm just going to jump right off into my presentation. And the first thing that I'm going to talk about is pretty much InsurTech. What is that? It's basically insurance technology, artificial intelligence. You know, today we walk into the banks, what do we see? Machines. We walk into the airport, we see machines. We also walk into the stores and we see machines. In the next 5 years in America, 85 million jobs are going to be displaced due to artificial intelligence. So technology is so important. So let's talk about the old industry. In the old industry, we talk about the brick and mortar. So we went from brick and mortar to click and order. And in the old industry, when I was a kid, the insurance agent came to my home. I see a guy back there, he's waving his head, but insurance agents came to our homes, pretty much talked to the family and gave them insurance. Now, in the new industry, what we're dealing with right now, it's polar opposite. So when we talk about not only mailing and emails, and also when it comes down to billing, it's totally different. Now, in the brick and mortar particular form, it's customer experience and also customer service and also too accessibility. But when we deal with e-commerce, now we're talking about speed, efficiency, also service, and not only that, customer service and affordability also too. So now what we see versus the old and the new, a lot of the baby boomers today, and the baby boomers are pretty much falling behind. And most of the people in our industry pretty much fit that baby boomers profile. So the baby boomers today are going to really have to get their shift together. I didn't curse, pretty much shift their minds about a new industry, because I believe it's a lot of opportunity right now. But we have to be willing on bridging both of those together to make some magic happen. So here's my 5 trends when it comes down to InsurTech and the insurance industry. The first one is models that are personalized products. So we're talking about right now that human interaction in our business sometimes are becoming obsolete right now, which means companies are trying to save money, get more done, and spend less. That's what we're dealing with. So even though the insurance industry is the fastest growing industry, is it growing fast because everyone's running to it? No, that's not true, because what we see now, the average insurance agent is pretty much like a baby boomer. And insurance agencies are looking for people to actually get into our industry also too. So when we think about humans' interaction being obsolete, also we got to talk about lifestyles, apps, and things of that sort. It's technology. So when I talk to insurance agents today, and when you start talking about technology, artificial intelligence, it's pretty much obsolete for them. They really don't understand it. Now, right now, we're dealing with a pandemic, and in my business, we're like 80% up in the midst of a pandemic, simply because we've considered 4 years ago, 5 years ago, technology. So important. So when we talk about artificial intelligence and bots are taking over, robots, which means when we call for customer service, what we see is artificial intelligence, bots communicating with the consumer. So this is where we are. And not only that, also too, due to artificial intelligence, actually push claims even quicker when it comes down to the efficiency. For instance, medical exams used to be actually mandatory. So now we're seeing medical exams, no medical exams, and based off that MIB, things being approved right on the spot. due to artificial intelligence. So that's where we are. So the question is, can we take both of these industries and bridge them together? Because we talked about the brick and the mortar and then click and order, the millennials. So when I say millennials, baby boomers and millennials, it's pretty much two things that's happening right now. So I'm going to go into it a little more. Now, the next thing is basically the advanced analytics when it comes down to the proactiveness. Now we see today in the insurance industry, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok are all important when it comes down to our industry. And you'll be surprised, a lot of the agents are not even using these particular technologies to actually run their business more efficiency and also create movement in their business. So it's important today to actually use those social media platforms to help you in your business. Like right now, I would say maybe about 85% of our business and our organization is being done through Zoom. Once again, we're talking about a click and order concept. And today, people, they don't buy books, they don't buy music, they buy you. So as agents, we have to be willing on being us, and today, we can actually reach the world. So I call it basically word of mouth, but technology word of mouth. Being yourself, talking to multiple people, and basically connecting with people. And that's what it's all about, if you're gonna have business for a lifetime versus a lunchtime. So also too, partnership is so important right now. It's so important. I mean, it's open. It's wide open, this business. The opportunity is endless in terms of partnership. Now, we see with the partnership that's happening right now, it's basically mostly the millennials that are the ones that are willing on going with this new trend as far as artificial intelligence and technologies. The millennials are really, really leading the pack when it comes down to that. But I believe when it comes down to the baby boomers, with all of the experience we have right now in this industry, I think that if we bridge both things together, I'm telling you, it's endless as far as how far we can go in the industry. And we're talking about mainstreaming blockchains. That's important also too. Once again, artificial intelligence. You know, we got technology that's pretty much preventing fraud and making sure that we're getting data and putting things together. So when it comes down to, like I said, bots and artificial intelligence, that stuff may sound a little strange to you guys because, you know, normally we talk a different language in our particular field. So it's important to know that all of these technologies and all of this data, all of this stuff together pretty much is a whole exciting it's a lot of opportunity. It's a new way of doing things. So I guess the question I would ask right now, are agents becoming obsolete? So even though the insurance industry is the fastest growing industry, it's not like we have so many agents that's actually joining our industry. Because the insurance companies now are operating using these technologies, which means agents and things of that sort, if we're not using these technologies to help us, then I believe we can get lost in the sauce, which means a lot of us could not connect out here in the marketplace. So it's important to use the technology, and not only that, get on top of the technology and use it to your benefit. That's so important. And then once again, I would argue, is the brick and mortar insurance agency model dead? You know, and I would say yes and no. Because the biggest wealth transformation in America is taking place right now as we speak. We have over $27 trillion sitting in retirement plans. $13 trillion sitting in US banks earning less than 1%. And the baby boomers, we have about 2 million a day retiring. And it's a transform of wealth that's taking place right now. And that new industry, which are the millennials, I hate to say this, but they don't really care about their brick and mortar concept. So once that wealth transfer, the old industry is dead. So now we have a new industry that's coming in. And I think it's an exciting time for the millennials and the baby boomers. But we have to be willing on having an open mind to put both of them together, so therefore we can have business once again for a lifetime and not a lunchtime. So I want you guys to look at this picture as I get ready to end my presentation. That's a picture of a vulture, and that's a young girl. This picture was actually shot in Africa by a famous photographer, and he got a lot of awards for this particular picture. And one day, the reporter came up to him and said, "Hey, whatever happened to the little girl?" He said, I don't know. That reporter actually committed suicide. So the moral of the story is, you guys, that if we don't get ahead of this technology, we may be the prey to the industry. So I encourage the baby boomers, and not only the baby boomers, as well as the millennials, basically take InsurTech, artificial intelligence, take all of that and use it, so therefore we can build a new industry. And not only build a new industry, things are pretty much endless of what we can do in this particular industry. I love this industry when it comes down to financial education. And right now in America is a serious time, because the average American is about 1 to 2 paychecks away from being homeless, and 1 out of 3 Americans in debt. The average college student changed their major about 4 times. And we don't have a money problem, we have a literacy problem. So I really want to encourage you guys to embrace not only financial literacy as agents and organizations, also embrace technology and use it while we can. So therefore you can build a big industry. And I believe that the millennials and the baby boomers, if we put this together, we're going to have an industry that's going to be unstoppable. So that's my time, you guys, and thank you for listening.